Hey guys, thanks for tuning in for another edition of the Detour Podcast. I'm your host, Dan Jones, joined as always, four-time National Road Champion Johnny Trevorrow. Iffy, 9 stages, done and dusted. The riders have got a well-deserved rest day today. And I suppose the big question is, can anyone dethrone Tadej Pogacar after what we've seen in this race so far?
Today or tomorrow? Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow.
It's interesting. Look, 9 days. It's hard to believe it's only been 9 days, actually. I'm seeing more of the Tour de France than ever did when I was actually there because, as you know, Dan, you're driving, you're doing that, you're getting the last hour and watching bits and pieces here in the middle. But, we get to see a lot more, and SBS coverage is sensational, of course. Interesting, isn't it? Look, it seems a silly thing to say, but really the bike race starts tomorrow. We've had all these wonderful stages and a couple of uphill finishes. You'd almost call them mountain stages, but really the bike race starts tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's stage, it's an uphill finish, but it's not what you call one of the tough mountain stages, but it's an entree to 3 in a row, because then the next 2 days after that are really monstrous mountain stages. So what answer to your question, there's only one guy I can see, or only two ways he could lose, I think. My mate Vinegar.
There's a stage profile for stage 10 if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah. So you got Cat 4, Cat 3, Cat 4. They're nothing, But the finale, it's uphill all the way to the line. So it's a Cat 2, but it's not a monster. I've been up there a few times, so it's a good climb. But because of what's coming up, it'll be interesting. I think a break would definitely take the chocolates tomorrow. But come Wednesday and Thursday, they're monsters. And so Jonas Vingegaard is really, we'll see what he can do. He hasn't done anything wrong so far. Even yesterday when the Pog put a pressure on just near the line, went bang, the only one who could respond was Jonas, and he did it easily. So I'm looking forward to a battle, and I think we're going to see it unroll over the next 3 days. So I'm looking forward to that. And the only other way he can lose, and it's seriously the biggest danger for him, is COVID. He's already lost a teammate. Imagine if that teammate had been, close with him. So I'd be very interested to see what the results at the end of today of all the tests. And we had 2 go the other day, but they've tested everyone in the whole event now. There'll be people leaving in droves. Maybe not all riders. A lot of staff will be going from teams. It's going to be
well, they're doing PCR tests, aren't they, on the rest day? And they pick up the most minute detail of COVID.
They start the minute they crossed the line yesterday. They started doing the PCR tests. So
it's gonna be interesting. There'll definitely be a handful that'll be out tomorrow, I'd reckon. Just the nature of the beast. So
what's your plans for the rest day, mate? Are you going to go and visit some of the old mates?
Yeah, well, we're here with Moo Moo Cycling, so I've got to put together a little video for them because they've obviously been traveling around. Some good insight from them. They had a new crew that started yesterday. There was one guy there that wanted the signature of Primož Roglic, and he's a big fan. And it's always the way he said, "Oh, I've got to get the signature, but it's more for my wife. She's obsessed." I said, "Be careful with that, mate." And so I said, look, the way to get it, just stand in front of his bike, and when they come out to get on the bike, you just hold it right in front of him and he'll sign it. He did that. He said, your mate Vinegar was signing autographs. Primož wouldn't sign anything. I said, really? I'm thinking, geez, surely a couple of scribbles, but anyway. Primož is on the nose with the Aussie fans, so look out.
Okay.
That clip that we showed yesterday where I thought Vlasov was Kamna, I posted that on social, and it's had 65,000 views. So I think.
Well, I sent a copy of the detour, last night's detour, to Stephanie, who's the media girl with Bora Hansgrohe, and she loved it. She absolutely peed herself. She said, pretty hard to mix them up, but I'll forgive him. So she's forgiven you already.
Well, the other issue at the tour is technical difficulties. I had the Rode wireless Go mics and they were all working fine. And like what happened with you guys at the Giro, they're temperamental. So then all of a sudden, the second mic just started dropping out. And we noticed that. So we started doing some tests before the Green Edge bus. Mic 1, mic 2, yeah, all working fine. Started recording, it dropped out again. So all the interviews that I did, with the two mics, you couldn't hear my voice. And then we did this great bit with Chris Jensen and Michael Matthews, and Bling had the second mic and it wasn't working. So we've had to go back to the clipboards. We've done some retest, reset the settings, and it's working, fingers crossed. But as you know, with this, when you're doing it through your iPhone 13, you can't hear.
Well, I did notice one of the interviews you were doing yesterday, when you were asked a question, when it clicked to you, there was sort of a noise in the background, like a bit
they've adjusted the audio so that you can hear my questions, but because my mic wasn't working, they've had to boost the audio, so it sounds a bit weird.
That's what it was. Okay,
that's what it was. So hopefully it's reset.
But in-house stuff, we're wasting
in-house. But I had to preempt it because here's all the interviews from before the start. I got an interview with Adam Yates, which is as rare as hen's teeth. He's not doing really media at all, and then I just jumped in the middle of the road. I said, "Yates." He goes, "Oh, all right." And then Rowie rode past. He goes, "This is rare. This is his first interview for the tour." So we wound him up about that. But apologies if the audio is a little bit off. We've tried to fix it in post, but moving forward, hopefully till Paris, we should be sorted. But here's all the pre-race interviews from stage 9.
Matt White, awfully close again, but looking at the replay, I don't know if there's much more Michael could have done and the team yesterday.
No. Michael executed the plan really well. We really tried to encourage him to go first yesterday and get that jump on the guys, especially because we knew the pure sprinters wouldn't be there, and I think he did a really good job. And I don't know, how do we beat Walt Benat? We're still thinking about it. We're going to have to try some other tactics in other stages, but we're not going to have too many finishes like that anyway, so it'll be a different scenario.
And what's the plan for attack today, given that there's a cut one at the end? Send someone in the break, or do you take a day off, or what do you do?
Yeah, pretty much for everyone, it's pretty much going to be a day off. Maybe Schultz might have a bit of a look down the road there, but everyone else, let's get through as easy as possible and try. I know it's not a rest day, but if you can have as easy a day as possible before the rest day, you're saving vital energy. We know how hard the second week of the tour is. The second week's harder than the third week. So any energy we can save is only going to help our big guys, and when we've got to target some more sprint stages and intermediate stages in the future.
And what do you do on the rest day? You still bring out the cheese boards and get around the staff?
Yeah, we're going to do that till tomorrow night, just before dinner. Yep. Try to sleep in if I can. Go for a bit of
a 10k run before 6 a.m.
Yeah, that'd be sleep in. We're in Morzine, so we know we stayed at the same hotel as before, so we know a little running route there, and then just I get some work done during the day and just try to decompress and try is the key word there, and then to start thinking about the next block of racing. So we try to break up the tour, especially now that we haven't got GC Rider here, into like mini blocks. So, blocks of 3 or 4 days that the guys can just focus on. That we're going to target that day, we're not going to target that day, and I think it works quite well for them mentally as well.
Oh, well, good luck today. I hope you got those caffeine tablets in the car, mate. Stay sharp.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, Neil Stevens just checking in with you, mate. Obviously a bit of bad luck with Jack Haig early in the tour, but you're a man with a plan. What's the plan?
Yeah, it was also obviously really bummed to lose Jack early on in the piece. Poor bugger, he crashed out stage 3 last year, crashed out stage 5 this year. He was actually in better shape this year than he was last year. It's left the team a bit wonky, a bit lopsided. We've got no sprinter. We've got the guy, we've got Damiano. He's a good bike rider, but he's a bit out there on his own. So we're trying to move and shove and try to get into moves for the stages as well here at the moment.
But the British rider you've got who's in the Brave, what's his name again?
Fred Wright. He's a bloody good bloke. He's only a young bloke. It's his second tour. He's 21 or something like that. And he gave it a crack. He knew he was up against it yesterday, but he really fought right through the line, and he's up there, but he's having a bit of a go, and I reckon he could pull out a bit of a surprise later on in the tour.
There's a very British name, Fred Wright.
Yeah.
What's he like as a bloke?
Good bloke, top bloke. He's from London. Lives up in near Manchester, but he's a top bloke. He's a legend in his own right. You have to have a bit of a chat with him one day.
Yeah, and a bit of colour of the region. You're a man that you're very cultural. What can you tell us about this area?
I suppose I'm a little bit cultural and a little bit of an old rock guy. You know, my AC/DC days. Well, today we're starting here at Aigler, the UCI Centre just down the road. And in the early parts of the stage, we go through Montreux. Montreux is famous for its jazz festival as well. Freddie Mercury statue in the square, but also the first lines in Smoke on the Water from Deep Purple. All went down to Montreux on the Lake Geneva shoreline. That's where it is in Montreux.
So you got Spotify connected in the team car?
Oh, we got a rock, and unfortunately, not much happening in the team car other than that. So we got to keep Spotify going.
Enjoy the tunes today.
Thanks, mate.
Yatesy, this is an absolute privilege that you've stopped to talk to SBS Australia, mate. How are you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad. To be honest, mate, it is a big privilege.
It is.
Mate, these media guys down here, the big scrum down here, they got no hope. So, it'll be a good day, I reckon. Hot out there today. It's not been hot so far. Today's the first hot one. Mountain at the finish. Give it a crack.
Mate, you're obviously in great form. The legs are sensational.
Sensational is not the word I'd use, but we're stage 9. Everyone's getting tired. Big mountain day. And as well with the heat, like we said, so.
We were talking to Garrett the other day and we said, how do you work out who goes in the final there? Is it rock, scissors, paper? Or it just seems like there's a great culture in the team and, anyone on their day, depending on how you're feeling, could have a go.
Bare knuckle, mate. We scrap it out. Yeah. Whoever gets on Rowie's wheel is basically the chosen one, so we have to bare knuckle after the bus.
and I know you've got to get through the stage, but what are your plans on the rest day? You still play FIFA?
I don't think anyone's got a PlayStation here, so nothing, to be honest. Rest. Keys in the name, innit? Rest.
That's it.
Lovely.
Well, thanks for stopping, mate. It's an absolute privilege
All
the best. Yatesy.
Nice one.
Cheers, mate. Ben O'Connor, another hectic day. How are you travelling, mate?
Yeah, I got caught up in the crash a little bit, but I've managed to tear my glute, so kind of running on one leg.
So how do you manage something like that? So obviously it's the Tour de France, so you want to go as far as you can, but is it just going to be sort of day by day?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it's like now. Tomorrow's a rest day, but we're in the mountains today, so I'll see how far I can go. My doom's been set since the Tour started, this Tour de France, to, I guess, not finish it, so it's been a bit rough. I'm going to try, though, my best to get through each day.
And was that from the crash at the 9K mark yesterday?
Yeah, I pulled up and I've twisted the wrong way, and then it just went. It's in exactly the same spot as I crashed on day 2. It's there, so it's been around for a week, and it just had one trigger moment yesterday, and then away she goes. So yeah, I guess it's like playing footy with a pulled hamstring. It's not so fun.
Mate, incredible that you're pushing through this, mate. And as we said the other day, Western Australia grid. You're doing everyone proud, mate. There's not much else.
I don't feel so proud sitting at the back, but that's all I can do for now. So we'll see what today brings.
Yeah, well, all the best, mate. Hopefully you can get through it, and hopefully you can recover somewhat.
Yeah,
the
that's the thing. The rest day is coming, so that's all I can hope for.
All the best, mate.
All right, cheers.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SBS. This is the iffy of the pro peloton, Christopher Jules Jensen, and I just want to present a rider of the day. I couldn't give it to myself; that would be a bit selfish. But yesterday, I think this goes to the man who we love to fall in love with, Michael Matthews, aka Blaine. Well done, Blaine. That was a big ride yesterday. Big ride.
Mate, did you just cut my lunch? I'm the presenter here.
Oh, we talked about this yesterday. We talked about this yesterday in the room, though.
Yeah,
you said I could have it.
No, but
you were Vaz today, and I was iffy.
That's enough. I'm out.
I'll let these guys sort it out back there. But thanks very much. Really appreciate it. It was a big day yesterday. The team really committed to bring the break back. It was a full team effort, and just for me, it was. It was close. Well, it just got over me on the line, but I gave everything. I think it was a great finish, great day, and I got a kangaroo, so I'm happy.
Well, 2 seconds, but you look at the guys that have beaten you, Pogacar and Benat. I mean, it still shows that your form is there, mate. And as you said in the interview, It's your turn next.
Yeah, I mean, I've beaten by both of them now, so I should be next, hopefully. I'll continue trying. We've still got a few stages to target here in this tour, but it's definitely not finished. So, yeah, thank you for the kangaroo. Really appreciate it.
Yep, there was a couple of the pre-race interviews again. Sorry about the audio technical difficulties, but we'll polish that up.
That was great stuff. I love the interview with Ben O'Connor. He gives you everything. It's really opens up. And I was watching him in yesterday's stage. He is really suffering. I mean, at one stage he was only doing 35k an hour, and he was off the back. And I thought, I can't see how he can get through, but he did. So, with the rest of the day, hopefully they can work on him and get him going, because he can win some stages without doubt, especially he's out of the GC. Even more chance of winning stages if he can get his leg right.
Problem is it's torn glute. So a torn glute, you would think would need 3-4 weeks of just rest and recovery. But because it's the Tour de France, they're going to front up and try and get to the finish. But anyway, plenty more detour to come. We're going to take a quick drinks break. So stay tuned.
I like Chris Benson imitating me and Vaz. I thought that was very funny because he was at the Giro and we were interviewing him every day, of course. Yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
That was good.
That was good. Yeah. All right. Here's the bike exchange ad.
Look at this bike. You think it's just a bike, right? But it's not. It's a bike. 374 people are looking at. This guy, this girl, them, all looking at it. People from here, there, and wherever this is. People that are looking for a bike. Or just a piece of it. Amateurs, semi-amateurs, and pro-amateurs. This guy wants this bike, but with this crank and these bars. This could be the perfect match. But not this one. This girl has a bike to sell, and thousands of people might purchase it. Eyes on Bikes help grow small businesses. His, hers, yours, and the latest data and insights help those businesses keep moving. We are the world's #1 bike marketplace, with over 500,000 products and 900 brands, where buyers and sellers are brought together in a place where a bike is never just a bike. Bike Exchange, where the world buys, sells, learns, and rides.
Thanks again to Bike Exchange. As we say, Iffy, head over to bikeexchange.com.au if you need anything bike related.
Exactly right, mate. Whether it be a track bike, a road bike, a mountain bike, a gravel bike, or they've got some great deals on e-bikes at the moment. So, or just a bit for your bike, or a helmet, or you name it, jump on the Bike Exchange, and they will find something for you, no matter where in the world you are.
We've got a few live comments we're going to get through. Wheel Wizard says Pogacar, other big worry apart from COVID will be the hot weather, which is expected, Johnny. Nah. All right, move on. Carolyn Harvey. John, do you think Ben can continue with his glute injury?
Well, I didn't think he'd get through yesterday, so let's see what happens. I don't know enough about glute injuries, but when you say a tear, as you just said, it doesn't seem like something you can fix easily. So it sounds fairly precarious, actually.
Jan Balman, who I've actually caught up with, who's been over here at the tour, she said she's got shocking Wi-Fi signal where she's staying. We'll have to catch up later today, see you at the start tomorrow. Dan Knowlesy, loving your work, Dan. Looking forward to watching the rest of the tour. Tom Maloney, if he says Yates is trying to go under the radar, is he a threat?
Look, I don't think any of the Ineos guys are actually a threat to win this bike race, but one of them will get on the podium, you would think. Bottom spot on the podium. I think Vinegar is the main threat for the bike race, and you can imagine coming second. But Yates is going well. But when just that little move in the last, 400 or 500 meters yesterday, when Pogacar jumped, Vinegar was the only one who could get it. It was only a few seconds, a handful, 3 or 4 seconds, but that fact that just surprised me. But he and G look very, very strong. So one of them, I would think, will be third spot on the podium. I reckon it probably could be Adam.
Another comment. We've got some people that like a bit of a flutter here, Johnny. They want your pick for Alpe d'Huez. They want a sports bet tip. Go Vinegar, wouldn't you?
It's a tough day. I just have a look at it after a really tough day. So the day before, stage 11, they've got 2 HCs, like Cat 1, 2 HCs, Galibier, and then the finale. So monster day, and then after that. So I reckon the day 11's even harder, but you've got 2 HCs with Alpe d'Huez stage. So yeah, interesting one. No, I'll go for someone like someone break and get up the road and oh gee, two HCs. Oh, no, you know what? The Pog.
Yep. Peter Williams wants to know what happened to Neo Pro Jesus Lapena. Only had 3 race days.
I can't answer that one. Don't know.
Tom Loney,
but we'll look.
Big fan of Stevo. We'll look into it for you. Peter Williams, just on the women's Giro Don, Kristen Faulkner is an undiscovered gem. She seems to have some Annemiek van Vleuten characteristics, and obviously Neve Bradbury, if he finishing 10th on GC, she's only 20.
She's a really, really good youngster. She finished 10th overall, fair way down. If we're talking about the girls, so they had their final stage yesterday. Interesting split because you had Chiara Consoni from Velcar beat Rachel Barbieri from Liv. Emma Norsgaard third. Alisa Balsamo, the world champion, was 4th. So they beat some quality girls, but Annemiek won overall. Marta Cavalli was 2nd at a minute 52, so a big gap. Annemiek was really, strutting her stuff, and I'm told she was holding a bit back because the Tour de France is only a couple of weeks away. It starts on the final Sunday of the men's tour. Marvi Garcia was 3rd at 5:56. Alyssa Longo Bulgini at 6:45, and then 10th was Nev Bradbury. So fantastic ride.
He's hard. The Will Wizard. Ben O'Connor is a cyclist, not a footballer. Jeez, I reckon you go out and ride with a torn glute, Will Wizard. So you pull up.
His problem is for him to say virtually riding with one leg, and he's no wimp. He doesn't make anything up. He's a tough nut.
Yeah, I spoke to his media manager. He said the problem was after the stage, he went and got scans, and they diagnosed the tear, and then afterwards he could barely walk. He said obviously riding's different, but he was just hobbling around and just in a lot of pain. So, I mean, even mentally as well, it's not ideal. So
Will Wizard still hasn't. He's still dark on the fact that he's lost his money that he put on vinegar for the white jersey.
Yeah, Scott Davies reckons Ben and Jack will fight it out at the Vuelta. If Benat have to obviously withdraw and rest up and recover, but
Jack will definitely be at the Vuelta. So I reckon it will be 2 Aussies fighting out at the Vuelta, but it's more likely to be Jack. And Jai.
Francesco.
Jack and Jai.
Francesco says, hello, guys. I'm convinced Roglic is not only not out of contention, but he's going to keep climbing places on GC. I still have him in my top 5 at the end, if he's healthy, that is. Well, there's another guy that's
not only not
out
of contention. Yeah, he's not out of contention, but I don't. I reckon if they want to win this tour, then Roglic is going to have to play a role in that, and because if he just races for a place on the podium, they could very well run 2nd and 3rd, but that's not what they want. They want to win it, and the only way they're going to win it is Roglic is not going as well as Vinegar. Just those little look. We're going to see a lot in the next few days, but I don't believe he is going as well.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood Will Wizard. He was saying it the other way. a football soccer player wouldn't get up off the ground, you misunderstood. You're saying that cyclists are hard. Sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. Didn't mean to lay the boots in. Jason Cruz says, good afternoon, just tuned in, hoping Ben stops early and fires up for the Vuelta. What would you
that's
do
an
if you were
option
the
for him.
DS? Johnny?
I don't know enough about torn glutes to comment. I'm hoping that he can get himself right because he can definitely win a stage in this. But that might be an option for him. I mean, great ride by his teammate to win the stage. And that's a really, it's a bit of a Clarkey story. He's had some serious issues over the last couple of years. And, he's I'm not sure, I think he's 29. King of the jungles, but he's had that typical bike riders complaint. A few Stuart O'Grady had that blocked arterial into the leg where they have that have to have that operation. So he had a year and a half really not being anywhere near his best, and to see him come back yesterday, fantastic ride.
Tom Maloney says Annemiek took selfies of her team on the podium yesterday. I hope she doesn't do that right through the Tour de Femmes. It's all right. It's a bit of colour.
I had a bit of trouble understanding what Tommy was saying there for a minute, but yeah, I know what he meant.
Now, another interview I got before the start, there was, sometimes celebrities come to the tour and they've got that ASO contingency around them.
Yes.
I saw this lady walking around and there's cameras all over it. I thought it was Caroline Wozniacki, the tennis player. So I went up and we were like, hey, is it Caroline? She goes, no, it's Irene. I'm like, oh, sorry. And what's your background, Irene? She goes, oh, I'm speed skater. Turns out she's the best ever in Holland. So I said, oh, okay, Irene, let's have a chat. And then there was cameras on me interviewing her. Then I get a message from the Weendog going, mate, were you the one that asked Irene Schulten to come to Melbourne? He goes, that was all over the TV in Holland. I said, oh, yeah, that was me. I had to film her press pass so I got her name right. Anyway, she's a big name, and this is a grab we did with her before the start.
I mean, it's a fantastic atmosphere. How are you finding the Tour de France?
Yeah, it's crazy. I do inline ice skating, and now and I train a lot on the bike. And you see, it's a big sport and big tournament. It's crazy.
And similarities with cycling and speed skating. You've seen a lot of cyclists do that in their off-season training.
Yes, yeah, I do it every day. So and I know a few cyclists here in the tour. And like last year, we had a training camp on Tenerife, and there were a few teams in preparation for the Tour de France, so some people, and it's really nice to see it.
And you've obviously been on the big stage before in speed skating. How do you prepare for the big events, and how do you handle pressure?
Like last year we had Olympics, and I had a lot of pressure. It's really hard, but how do I manage it? I told myself I do my best, and better I cannot do. So I do my best.
And have you been to Australia before?
No, it's the dream of my husband and me to go to Australia, but I don't want to go for 1 week, just for a month. But I cannot go skip training and go a month on vacation. So when I quit skating, then we want to go to Australia.
Well, we have a skating rink, a big one in Melbourne, so you can train there.
But
it's a big proper Olympic.
Yeah, but I think it's a short track,
okay.
And I do long track, so.
Right. Okay. Maybe Mount Buller. It's not as good, but
maybe.
Maybe. We'd love to see you there.
Maybe. Okay. You're welcome.
Oh, there you go.
Sensational.
Yeah. So anyway, the news in Holland was she's been invited to Australia, so come down to Melbourne. Anyway,
that's
it. What we'll do is I'm doing an episode of Social Distance Podcast today with George Benat and Sam Bewley. We should get some fascinating insights there. So
great.
We'll do an episode tomorrow, and I'll pick the best bits of the podcast with George and Sam, and we can talk about that and then preview the stage and same old. So I think otherwise it's going to be a cluster trying to do the live stuff at the start. If we get a chance to do it, and
we'll get one in. We'll get one in. We'll definitely do one. If we do look at doing one just before you start all the others, so you're at the start line, get that buzz. We'll see what we can do, something like that as well. Maybe a short 15, 20 minute. We'll work something out. But I love the interview with Steve-O, and he talked about Freddie Mercury, and they were saying on the commentary last night that Freddie, when he was writing one of his classic songs, I think it might have been Ride My Bicycle or whatever, the Tour de France was going by where he was sitting right on the lake there in around about 1979, 1980. And while that Tour de France going by, he wrote one of his classic songs.
There you go. I thought it was going to be another one, Bites the Dust. But anyway. All right. YouTube.com/The Detour Podcast. Thanks for all your support, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow. See you then, Johnny. Cheers.
This is the winning ride of the Tour de France.